not?
Thank you. We're started. All right. So, again, the theta is at G. So we want to identify what is the opposite, the adjacent, and the hypotenuse. So here, from across the G, JH would be the opposite. Next to the JG, or GJ, is going to be the adjacent. And remember, the hypotenuse is always the one across from the right angle, no matter if it's adjacent or not. But it's always the force to be on across the right angle. So this is the hypotenuse. And then let's just match the sides. JH is the opposite. GH is the hypotenuse. And JG is the adjacent.
Should we have a calculator for that next one?
I have a calculator up here, so I'll just work it up. So that's stating it. Then we're going to use
What about for the first one?
the next question. Oh, you want the first? Here, hypotenuse, opposite, adjacent. We did it yesterday. That's why you could copy it down there. Yeah. But the same concept. All right. Now, we're going to need a calculator for this section. When you have your calculator, I'll come around and help you if you need help with this, but you're going to click mode.
Wait, you're going to be here for our final?
I'll be in and out, so I'll come in like every 20 minutes. So I'm going to put degrees. So you want to click mode and degrees when you want to start this, okay? And then second mode to quit. If you ever need to go back to the normal screen, use second mode. All right, so then I have to just take the calculator and plug it in. So sine, which is 2 above 7, 1, what was the number, 25? 25. And you just press enter. Since it's multiple choice, it'll be 2 decimal points. That would be 0.82. Yeah, and then this is all just calculator. 4 is tan negative 30. So tan, when you click a negative button here, don't click the minus sign. Those are different in the calculator. You want to click the button less underneath 3. So negative 30. Should be that. We'll do negative 0.58. Okay, straight up forward. Here, though, it's cosine theta equals 6, 7. So it's not inside the cosine. So we have to make it inside the cosine. So what can we do?
How do you do
Get rid of the theta.
You can't do the theta, so you got to get the theta by itself.
Don't you seek to divide by theta?
No, theta's your variable.
Divide by cos.
Not divide, we're going to use what we call inverse cos. So it's not technically divide. You could think of it as divide, though. So theta equals cos negative 1 of 6, 7. Make sure you have to use cos negative 1 of 6, 7 in this case. And how we do that? We go to the calculator.
Wait, what is it? Cos?
Negative 1.
Negative 1.
Yeah, to the negative 1 power, 6, 7. Or we saw inverse cos or arc cos. Something like this, right? So when you do negative 1 cos, you got to make sure you go second, cos negative 1. So you got to click the cos button. You got to click second first to get the negative 1. And then it's going to be 6, 7. So 6 divided by 7. Oh, I did times. 6 divided by 7.
It's bigger.
6 divided by 7. You don't have to bother, Jacob. Come on in.
Forgot.
He said he gave you detention.
So theta equals, and we look at here. We round to 2 decimal points, but it's like 331.00. So we just say 31. Next one. Again, we have the problem of tan and the theta being in the thing. So we got to move away to tan. So it's going to get moved over here as tan negative 1. Tan negative 1.
Why don't you skip this and type in tan negative 1 second, tan negative 1?
You could just skip right to the work. I'm just explaining this so then the video helps you guys out later. So then, tan, second, tan, 4 over 3. 53.13. Technically degrees, I guess, but again, it's multiple choice, so they will all be degrees. It's not like it would trick you on something like that. So when the theta is inside the cosine, or like if the angle's missing, we need to do the negative 1. All right. Number 7, we're going to use the trig ratios. I have a formula sheet for you guys. Oh, actually, I will print that out after I finish all this says. But here is the formula for trigs. So Toa. You're not going to be forced to remember it. I'll give you your little formula sheet, okay? But Toa. Remember, this means sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse.
Or you can give us the still.
I'll give you the words, but I won't give you the breakdown. You need to know how to interpret the words. Toa is the opposite over adjacent. Yeah, what's up?
When it says like A after sin, then you do it from the angle A.
Good. So you see how it says sine A? That means I'm standing at A. So sine is opposite. So I got to look what's opposite of me, which is 12, and the hypotenuse, which is 13. So my fraction is 12 over 13.
I feel like with the, I feel like it's easy.
Someone dropped a humidifier on my foot. I don't.
Ken dropped a humidifier in Nal's
Like he took it and he
Lawsuits-
smashed it.
lawsuits
I hear you
are
guys,
being-
but I'm recording. I just want to keep going.
Okay, that's
Wait for who?
Lawsuits are being sent out right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
I'm trying to teach them.
Wait
Hold
one
on.
second.
So it's going to be 5 over 13, adjacent
Yeah, look at
over
that.
hypotenuse.
Wow.
Come put your arm around me. I got you.
Guys, I'm trying to record for a text.
I got it.
See you around, guys. But Layla, you gotta have to.
I'm coming right now. I'm just probably my.
Okay. And then tangent is opposite or adjacent. So I'm still standing at A.
Wait, the
So
5 over 13.
yeah, because adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. So opposite is 12. The adjacent is 5. So there's 12 over 5.
But don't you have to type that in the calculator? Sine 12 over 5.
No, because this is asking what is the trig ratio, which is just the numbers. You already have the numbers. When you're missing a number on the next page, we'll have to type stuff in the calculator. Next one. Now pay attention. It says sine of h. So in this one, I'm going to be standing at h, and I want opposite of sine, which is 4 of h, and I have hypotenuse, which is 5. So that's 4 over 5. But the next one is tan of g. So I have to stand at g. Don't get tricked by this. You're standing at g, and you're going to go opposite of g, which is 3, over the adjacent of g, which is 4. And then the last one, cosine of h. So I'm back at h. Cosine is adjacent, which is 3, over the hypotenuse, which is 5. So 3 over 5. Yeah, very straightforward.
3's opposite.
Of no, it's adjacent of H.
Oh, H.
H. That's why you got to pay attention to the letter. Okay.
Got it.
All right.
That's pretty straightforward.
All right. Now we're going to use the trig thing. We're just going to combine the things using the calculator and the formulas or the fractions to help us. So in this one, I'm going to have to try to find the function here. I have 63 degrees over here, and I see something that's opposite, and I see something that's hypotenuse. Because it's opposite and hypotenuse, and I have SOHCAHTOA in front of me, I know it has to be so or sine. Good. Toa. So I know it's going to be sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. Now, let's look at this question. Sine of 63 degrees, the angle goes inside the sine, equals opposite, which is x, over hypotenuse, which is 9. Is x by itself yet? No. So what we're going to do to both sides is multiply 9 on both sides. So 9 sine 63 equals x.
Why do you have to put that 9 before the sign?
This just shows it multiplying. So 9 times sine 63, that equals 8.02. So our answer is 8.02. Again, it's multiple.
78.
No, because it's multiple choice, so you'll see 8.02. And I'm not going to trick you like put 8 and then 8.02. I want to do something like that. It'll be one of them will be clearly the right answer, or should be fairly the right answer. Yeah. All right. Next one. Now
Oh.
it's going to be tangent. I'm standing here. I have an opposite and I have an adjacent. So there's a tangent of 42 equals opposite 12 over adjacent x. So the x is on the bottom here. In order to get the x on top, what we're going to do is swap the places of tan 42 and x. So it's going to become x equals 12 over tan 42. Once we have that, we're going to go to our calculator again. 12 divided by tan 42. And that's 13.33. So
I don't
13.
get the build up to your answer.
What's up?
I don't get the build up to your answer. Why is that X there?
Oh, it's opposite, happens to be 12, over the adjacent, which is the x, the one I'm missing. So I want to swap their
Oh,
positions.
so you start at X.
No, it's based off your SOHCAHTOA. So you have to do it based off SOHCAHTOA. So since it's opposite over adjacent, I have to do it like that. All right, so this one's now the reverse, where we have the use the negative one. I have my theta, or I don't have my theta, I have two sides. So in this one, I have 7 and 9. So from here, I have the adjacent, and I have the hypotenuse, my bad. So because I have both, I need to use SOHCAHTOA. That's going to be ka, or cosine. So cosine of theta equals adjacent, which is 7, over the hypotenuse, which is 9. Which would be cool, but we need the theta.
It would be second cosine negative 1, 7 divided by 9.
Good, because we want cosine negative 1. So it's going to be theta equals cosine negative 1, 7 over 9. And then from there, we're going to take it and plug it in your calculator. Again, make sure you obtain a calculator. All the school calculators will be
Always
being
a
used.
negative 1 because you have that 1 cosine.
We need a calculator for the test, right?
Yes, especially like questions like these, you cannot do by hand. So this is going to be 38.94. Like it's not doable by hand. I could not do it by hand. 38.94. And I know I said yesterday I'm trying to minimize how much calculator you need, but this is a calculator you need, at least with the trig function. So it doesn't have to be the big one. It could be like a smaller one, as long as that's sine, cosine, tangent.
So it's second tan negative 1, 2 over 5.
Excellent. So we have an opposite and we have an adjacent. That tells me TOA, or tangent. So tan
Are we going to do so?
theta. We have tomorrow also, so 2 over 5. So theta equals tan negative 1, 2 over 5. Because the opposite goes on top
Division at the end.
and adjacent on bottom. For negative ones,
The 2 over 5.
it should always equal a fraction, which is division, yeah. So tan negative 1. So second tan. 2 divided by 5. 21.8.
I'm gonna keep it real. I was in a very tense login. Just learning how to go way back.
I just want to work. I hear you. All right, next one. You'll be getting this equation right here on your equation sheet.
3 times 180.
So in this case, we need a pentagon. Pentagon, you need to know, is a 5-sided shape. So 180
540.
times 5 minus 2. You could do the subtraction first in the inside. Some of you guys distribute because you're thinking about like an algebra question. You have two numbers. You could just do it first. So 180 times 3. You could take your calculator, check that out, but that's going to be 540. So you just plug it into the equation if you know the sides.
And the next one you add 2.
For this one, number 2 is going to be 180. It's 11 gone. 11 gone just means it has 11 sides. So 11 minus 2, which is 180 times 9, which is 1620, yeah. So 1620. And again, you have your calculator. You can do the multiplication.
What's the opposite where you add the two?
So in the next one, the difference is you're doing the end part, so the answer. So you have 720 equals 180 n minus 2. So you have the solution. You need to find the
You're
n.
gonna give us this still like this equation.
This is the same equation. So I will give you the equation, yeah.
So it's n plus 2.
So what you're going to do is divide 180 first. I would divide 180 on both sides to make your life a little easier. So 720 divided by 180 is 4 equals n minus 2. You got to get n by itself. So plus 2 on both sides. So n equals 6. It might be written in your answer, this is a hexagon, okay? But it's 6-sided, okay? This one, 1,800
12.
equals 180 n minus 2 divided 180 on both sides. 10 equals n minus 2 and then plus 2 on both sides. 12 equals n. Next one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides or 6 corners. They always be the same. So I want to find what the total of all these numbers are. I want to find the total of all these numbers, even to x. So since I know it's 6-sided, I do 180 times 6 minus 2. And I know it's 6-sided because you could just count how many sides you have. That's going to be 4 times 180, which is 720. Now I know that's what it equals. I want to figure out what this missing x is. So what I'm going to have to do is subtract.
Then all together and subtract.
Yes, subtract all of this from here. So I'm going to use a calculator for this to make my life a little bit easier. Let's make it so the screen is not small.
Are you recording this?
Yeah, man. So it is 88 plus 105 plus 142 plus 140 plus 124. Those are all my pieces. So that's going to be 599 plus x. Now I need to get x by itself. So what I'm going to do to both sides?
720.
I'm going to good. I'm going to subtract. So 720 minus 599 should be 121. So your answer is 121. All right. When it comes to exterior angles, so angles on the outside, it always adds up to 360. Exterior angles always add up to 360. If it had a billion sides or 3 sides, it will be 360. So 360 is going to equal these pieces added up together, 93 and 75, which is about 160.
128.
128.
Oh, wait, no, it's 168.
Yeah, 168. So 168. You did 50 or something. Plus, how many x's do I have in
I'm
total?
looking for my phone, which is more important in class. So
X2.
So 2x plus another x, that's going to be 3 x's in total, though. Because 2x plus x is 3 x's in total. From here, it's an algebra 1 problem. So 168 on both sides, 168. So that is 192 equals 3x. Divided by 3, divided by 3. 63 equals x. So your answer is 60.
So it'll always be
Why,
like that.
why did you divide by 3?
This one had more x's, but it'll be this concept. It will always be 360 at the least. Yeah, go ahead.
it's recording.
Yes. Jacob, you got a question?
That's about it.
Okay.
So we really miss it.
All right, next one. This is a parallelogram. What we know about parallelograms is that opposite angles are congruent. So opposites are congruent. And then what we call adjacent angles, so angles sharing a line or angles next to each other, you want to think of it like that? So adjacent are supplementary. Adds up to 180. So orange. So with that in mind, F should match H because they're opposites, so 132. And then G and F are supplementary to each other, which means they add up to 180. So I would do 180 minus 132, which is 48. So this one's 48. And then this one over here has to match. Because if this is 48, then this is also 48. Is it too bright or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go for more orange.
I hooked you up so many times.
So angle G is 48. Angle H is 132. Angle E is 48. Number 8. Because these are opposite, we know they're equal to each other.
So 107 equals 5x plus 2.
Good. 5x plus 2 equals 107. Doesn't matter what order you put it.
21.
Minus 2 on both sides. So 5x equals 105. Divided by 5 on both sides. X equals 21. Next one. When it comes to sides, so we're talking about the sides of the walls.
Attention, Marie Yeshiva High School, this is a shelter-in-place drill. Everyone could clear
That
the
just
hallways.
means-
This is a shelter-in-place
It doesn't mean stay in the
drill.
classroom.
Our final drill of the year.
It just means-
Shelter-in-place at this time.
Yeah, you don't need it. You just stay in the classroom. They just want the hallways clear if they need to move something like medical or something like
How
that.
long does it take?
It's a drill,
Oh, I
so
thought that was
like 3 minutes.
An animal comes in the building.
That could be 2, or storm is coming through and windies.
Code black is
Code blue,
shelter
stay away
in
from
place.
that. Code black, the shelter.
Code blue is to tell people, hey, I need the blue, team blue or whatever, to come and help, you know?
No? Yeah,
Code blue
this
is
is
stay
code
away
blue.
from an area. Like,
Yeah.
You have a code blue in the auditorium.
But code blue also includes shelter in place because you're supposed to be clear the hallways. So it's like included into it.
If an animal
Whatever, it
comes
just
in
means
the
you have to
building.
stay here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. 4 equals x plus 2. So the opposite sides equal when it's a parallelogram. So subtract 2 on both sides. X equals 2. Pretty easy. And another one. I'll change the color. 12 equals y minus 5. Plus 5 on both sides. 17 equals y. So opposite sides equal each other. Opposite angles equal each other in a parallelogram. All right. For number 10, though, that's a trapezoid. The trick with the trapezoid is kind of the reverse rules. The adjacents are equal to each other, while the across, or let me do this different
I
color.
need a cross.
Not a cross, I guess. It's a, well, it actually is
You
diagonal.
don't need a L. You find out.
Yeah, but the cross would be,
Is this shelter in place?
60 divided by
yes,
20.
until they say it's over.
20.
So this one is going to be 3x equals 120 divided by 3 on both sides. X equals 40, though. 40. Okay. So they're equal if they're on the same floor. They're supplementary, they're on the opposite floors. So if you want to figure this one out, this would be 60 because it has to add up to
Attention,
1.
Marie Yeshiva High School, the shelter-in-place drill is now complete. You may resume classes. Attention, Marie Yeshiva High School, the shelter-in-place drill is now complete. You may resume
Just go after
regular
me that
classes.
next 5 minutes.
Take a quick peek, bro.
So M is 88 degrees. K, because in a kite, the middle parts of the kite, so if you had your fingers like this to make the kite, or like this, the inside of your fingers would be matching. So these two would match. So that is going to be also 88.
Isn't J half 120?
No. J is going to be what's left over. This is a 4-sided shape. the inside of a four-sided shape always adds up to 360. So 360 equals 88 plus 88 plus 120, 172, 180, 92, 292.
I got 296. You don't know.
296, yeah, because it's 8, not 6. You're right.
What are you smart?
Thank you, man.
You should move me up. Wait, I said I'm smarter than you. I said thank you.
That's good. That means I did a good job. So then I'm going to subtract 296 on both sides. So that's going to be 64 equals J. So 64 should be here.
Our math, I know, it's like, it's on like a really weird.
It's on the last Monday.
Yeah, like,
That is so stupid.
no,
You got an extra weekend to study.
No, I think it's stupid that they're
come on,
giving us.
I don't care
Is
really
that
that
day
much.
last day of school?
Like, it's like a
Yeah.
very
So
weird
then
day.
you don't come out
out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a weird day. It's like school. School
The thing is, the holiday's this Monday, right? The problem is,
No, I just think school ended on like a Friday. Like,
that'd be cool.
Mr. Double, not even that. You know what the most annoying thing is?
What? Is he only knocking on the door randomly?
who's not gonna
Yonis.
Mr. Double, the most annoying thing is that
Can
you
we
went to
keep
last
going? We're
final.
almost done.
It's because we have a Shabbos break, and you know people keep
Yo, we
Shabbos.
literally have like 2 things.
Okay. So, name the specific thing. You'll have a word bank if you have a question like this. Or actually, it's a multiple choice, so you know which one you could or not choose. So in this case, is
It's a rectangle because there's not all.
No, if you don't cut it
so
out,
it's a rectangle in this one because we see the right angles and we see it's parallel. Number 14, the best we could say it's a parallelogram because all it tells us is that it's parallel. Ogram. And number 14, because all the sides are the same, that definition is a rhombus.
So around this is the same.
Rhombus is all the sides are the same length. Same length.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4
4 pages left? We're probably going to finish this page. I don't know how much time is left because if the freshmen are gathering outside, but
So,
we'll definitely finish tomorrow, though, for sure. And I'm going to print out the formula sheet that you're going to receive. Now, the formula sheet, you don't need to bring it. I print one for you. Don't bring your formula sheet. Or I'll post it on Google Classroom so you can see what you're going to get.
Pretty good. So can we finish?
Yeah, let's do one more page.
Oh, come on. We have so much time.
How much time we got left?
Like a minute.
because this one we need to ask a lot of questions, so it looks confusing. So
Let me see.
It's 1 minute. I'm leaving. That was the one.
So.
I hear you. All right. That's the end of the recording?